Friends, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Well, let's start with the good news. Because about a month ago, we had some negative things that were happening around here. But here lately, we have a number of positive things that are happening. And one of those pieces of good news is our animals are actually doing really well right now. Our layers are laying eggs. Our meat birds, well, they're producing some meat on them. Our first batch of meat birds right over here are about ready to be processed, our first batch of the year. And then our second batch, we just added to the chicken tractor here. And they're gonna be coming through, hit this bed right here, fertilizing the bed that the goats were just in. Go. Those sea monsters are always aggressive and ready to eat food. They're constantly hungry. Well, some other things that I'm pretty excited about are, we have some things going on here on site on the homestead that I'm excited about, but we also have some neat things that are going on virtually. One of which is I recently started a show that's kind of like a podcast where each month we're featuring guests on there, and it's given me the opportunity to ask questions and dig deeper and talk to them and have conversations that I'm not really able to have here on YouTube. And I don't have an official name for that show yet, but we've had a number of different people on there that have been just really neat guests, like Daryl from Redmond Salt, and we talked about salt and clay. Well, you also mentioned clay, and you're also a clay expert, and I recently had the opportunity to meet your dad, who was very, very informed about clay as well. Can you talk a little bit about the benefits of bentonite clay? And when I think about clay, it also reminds me, I talked earlier about Jesus and salt. Jesus also had an example with clay when he healed the blind man by putting the clay on his eyes. I don't know if they're the same clay, but the principle, there's a lot of things that clay can help. Can you explain that?
I love, hopefully you and your audience can tell, I love salt. I love talking about it. I think, salt's amazing. With clay, if you came to me and said, hey, Daryl, you've got to pick right now. You can either have you can have your salt, the salt deposit, or you can have the clay deposit, but you're too lucky to have both. Which are you going to give away? I would keep the clay deposit. Wow. Because there is a lot of power in salt, but there's other good salts out there. I've got 3 easy questions I'll give you later so your audience can decide how to find a good salt. I mean, it might be Redmond, it might be something else, but there's 3 easy questions, and you can find other good salt. Clay is much harder, and clay is so amazing. When animals get hurt, animals don't typically run to the vet. They run to the mud, and they'll roll in the mud, and it draws out and pulls out thorns and thistles and helps heal. They'll eat the mud. They'll eat the right kind of mud. The clay is sold in agricultural markets as a toxin binder because there's study on tilapia and on pigs and on birds and on all kinds of, mice and rats. And animals, when they eat clay, it actually removes the heavy metals. So the levels of cadmium, mercury, lead, those levels decrease. And they've tested this in pig tissue and brain tissue, and they've tested it in tilapia. And so if you were raising tilapia and farming tilapia, you actually can feed the fish clay, and it removes those heavy metals. In birds of prey, especially in the West, these California condors and eagles, they'll go eat rabbits and carcasses that have been maybe shot with lead bullets, and they will eat that, and then they have lead toxicity, and the clay removes that. So clay is so powerful. It's the primary blood stop in a product called Quick Clot and Cool Clot that's used in police departments and military situations around the world. The ancient Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, the Russians, Ukrainians, clay is used universally in many in many ways. And so probably too much to talk about in just one sitting. There's a lot of great books on clay, and clay is just some really cool stuff.
And on the last show that I did, I had a special guest named Maureen Diaz, who's worked with the Weston A. Price Foundation and who has also started her own organization called God's Good Table. And on that show, we talked about how good food relates to good health. What would you encourage everyone to be doing with their own lives to kind of take charge of their own health and the health of their families and well-being in their life?
Well, I would start with every single day being outdoors.
Yeah.
I mean, take a walk even in the rain, get sunshine, get fresh air, get exercise. And I'm not talking an hour on the treadmill. Get real exercise outside like you do, working in the garden, which I've been doing the same at my house. Producing your own food, eating nutritious food. My garden is going like gangbusters right now, probably better than it ever has.
That's fantastic.
Grow food. And I think when my husband eventually makes it home from his work in Maine, there are going to be chickens in my backyard, and I think there should be chickens in everybody's backyard. And get dirt. I took a bath before we came on, so my hands are clean right now, but my fingernails, especially this time of year, are usually really dirty, and I keep filing them back because I want to dig in the dirt. Digging in the dirt, besides producing good food, you're absorbing nutrients, you're absorbing microorganisms from good soil, not chemically laden soil, and that's part of being healthy and strong also. But I am also trying to stockpile good quality food.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the freezer, less in the freezer. I'm trying to dehydrate more, and I'll be making pemmican and things like that, and prosciutto. So I think it's super important that we have an abundance of good quality, clean food. If we produce it ourselves, all the better, because that makes our bodies much stronger.
Yep.
And make some herbal preparations and get some herbs, grow some herbs, some key herbs, like lots of garlic. If that's all you can grow for an herb, grow garlic.
Yeah.
But I make a tea for when somebody has a cold. I use thyme and sage and peppermint. It's soothing and helps relieve a cold. So just simple herbs like that are easy to grow, I think everyone should have on hand. And definitely, learn to make a tincture. It takes 5 minutes to put something together in a bottle. and have those kinds of things on hand. I just think we always should have good quality food and medicine on hand.
Yeah.
Because we never know. Right now,
That's
we
right.
have an inkling that we may really need to have a store of such supplies, but we have an inkling now, but we should anyway.
Yes, exactly right. And that show is exclusively on Abundance Plus. However, if you are signed up for my email newsletter, I do share the link to see the show from time to time to those who are signed up. And if you are signed up for my new email newsletter and you're not getting our emails, you may want to check your spam. I've heard from a couple of you that some of the emails are going to your spam, so you may want to check that out. But another project that I'm really excited about it. Are you excited about this project, Sayla? Are you? Because I am pretty excited about it.
What project is it again?
Well, I am doing a show, we're doing a show exclusively, well, not exclusively, but for kids, designated for kids. And it's going to be a Reading Rainbow style show, and we're reading books, and it's going to be tailored around homesteading and health. But I feel like overall in this community, we're really missing the mark with our children. There's so much junk out there from on Netflix and all these other places that really aren't good for kids, and they're really not establishing really good values that we really want our kids to learn. So we're in the works to do a show like that, and that will also be on Abundance Plus. And I do want to mention, if you are interested in trying out Abundance Plus, you can get 10% off right now with using coupon code FITFARMER. Here. Oh man, we're getting some raspberries. Some of our first raspberries here. In my little orchard here, we have a number of different fruit trees and raspberry plants. So it's so neat to see them producing here. So spreading the mulch around to suppress the weeds, but to also help the soil to retain moisture for our fruit trees and our raspberry plants to thrive. Yeah.
Don't pour it on me.
There we go, we're working hard over here. Doing a great job. There we go. Man, y'all doing great over here. She's working hard for the money over here. She works hard for the money. Is that what she's doing? Getting your exercise in over here too?
I am getting my exercise in.
I'm definitely getting the sweat going. Alrighty, so y'all have this one filled up right here.
Yep.
So earlier I mentioned we have some on the site good news and projects going on. Lacie, tell them about one of the projects that you have in mind for us.
Well, so last year over here I had my little flower herb garden, and I get to sitting up here, and I really would enjoy like an outside space where we can just sit and maybe have, I don't know, a fire pit or something. But I would love to do a privacy wall type thing, and on one side we can hang all of our tools for up here, and then it just be a little sectioned off area. I'd love to have it like paved and maybe have some raised beds and then grow our herbs in that. And that's what is in my head.
It definitely sounds like a neat idea. So we've kind of started the project with cleaning up over here. We had a couple of trees dropped, and we're gonna be cleaning that up. So there's definitely space for it right in here to kind of do what she has in mind. So one of the things that I thought would be really neat, she said a fire pit, but I really like those solo stoves where it's like, the smoke it controls the smoke. It's really neat. We had the opportunity to be around one before, and it's just like, you get the warmth without the smoke. It's just really neat. So maybe we can see what we can do to get about one of those. It would be really neat.
With some of these, you know, pieces of logs that have been cut up, I really would like to use them for seating, for a little extra seating or tables or something. I don't know, it's just a work in progress in my brain, so we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, that would be really neat to have this as like our designated area where we could do gatherings with friends and family. I can kind of see your vision. I can see it. It sounds neat. And speaking of gatherings and meetups, we're planning to have a meetup here Memorial Day weekend. Whether it might be the Sunday or the Monday, we want to know from you guys, what would be best for you? We're planning to do it at the Bradford Market in Davidson, North Carolina. So let us know, would Sunday be better for you or Monday? And just kind of check it up, see how far it is from you, and we can do that. We're also planning to do like a meetup. I'm speaking at a conference that Maureen Diaz, I mentioned her earlier, she's doing a conference. It's going to be Nose to Tail, and it's going to be talking about biblical principles with agriculture. And there's going to be a number of speakers there. Joel Salton's going to be a speaker there. Sally Fallon's going to be a speaker there. Chef Barry's going to be one, and I have the opportunity to be one as well. And we want to have an opportunity to meet up with you guys there. If you can make the conference, come see the conference. You can listen to the other speakers. Then we can also get together and do this kind of meet and greet and hang out with you guys. So I'm going to leave the information for those, all the different things that I mentioned in this video, in the show notes below. Look at that goat over there striking the post.
It is really nice working out here and hearing all the natural wildlife, wild birds, and hearing all of our chickens and the little turkeys over there. I love, like, turkeys. I never thought I would like turkeys, but they make like the coolest sounds. I really like them so far. And that reminds me, a couple weeks ago, we actually had a wild bird try to be an inside bird. This isn't the first time it's happened, but we have these little birds that they'll come down our chimney and we'll hear something in the wood stove. And this is probably about like the 4th or 5th one we've had to get out of the wood stove and release back into the wild.
Looks like you got some kind of weird stuff going on in there.
You can keep it from thinking it can get past you flying out. Oh, how long you been in there, little one? Let's get you some water. Come on. You want some? There you go. Here. Yeah, see a bit of water. Alright. It's been in there a little bit because it's got stuff on its eyes. Okay. Not anymore?
Like feeding a little chick.
No,
It's like feeding a little chick
I know.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Go.
Go. Okay. I think we're at a stopping point now. We've gotten 2 sections done of spreading out the mulch. And one of the things that I like about videoing what we do is I get to go back and see the before shot, and it gives you an even deeper level of appreciation for what you did. It looks so neat in here. We got the mulch spread around our lemon balm here, comfrey plants, some blackberries, some raspberries, persimmon trees, some more comfrey. And then in the first section that we started with, we have some more raspberries, another persimmon, an apple tree, and some more lemon balm. So I just love seeing how neat and clean it looks here. So next we just have to do this other section on this other side where our bees are and some of our other fruit trees. But not today. What is going on over here?
I'm barbecuing fire ants.
Oh man.
The easiest way to take care of them. A little satisfying too, I must say.
With all these wood chips here, don't catch us all on fire now.
Well, it did rain last night, so they are moist, but I have a water hose here too, so I'm not being irresponsible, just for all you safety police out there.
A flame weeder is a really good way to take out some fire ants, and it's very satisfying too, hearing them just pop and cook. Well, I'll let you keep going on with that if you want, but I'm calling it a wrap. So I think we got enough done for today. We still got some other things to do, but I appreciate y'all's help. You can keep playing with the ants if you want.
I think I've about, I don't know, slaughtered as many as I'm gonna slaughter today. So,
Well, earlier I did mention that I had some bad news, and one of the bad news pieces is that we will not be at the Homesteading Life Conference this year. We have been there for a number of years now, and this year we can take a break and do some of the other things, because all these other things that we have going on, we do need time for that. So we'll miss you guys that come out to the Homesteading Life Conference each year. If you can make it, go to it. It's a fantastic conference. It's like a reunion every year, so it'll be like missing a reunion this year.
I know.
Yeah, so.
It is a big family. We love going, but you know, not this year.
And another piece of bad news is, well, the rats that we dealt with before, well, some more are back, and have been having to deal with that. I think what happened was I had some bigger traps before, and I think we got the real big ones, and some of the babies got left behind. So recently I got some of these other traps that, or I got them off Amazon, and they have been great traps, and they're like instant kill traps. Sorry for those of you who may be a little squeamish about that, but they are really effective traps, and they'll just clamp down and they'll do the job. But one of the things is about using them is I'm nervous about using them. Setting them up, it's like I don't want my finger getting broken in that trap. So as I've been setting them up, it's been really timid in setting them up. Wow, it'll definitely break a finger or something. Definitely want to be careful setting these traps. Got some peanut butter right here with some bread. Open it up. There we go. Keep the hands out of the way. So I've set up a number of them inside our pump house where we've been having our chicks and our ducklings, and thankfully no rats have gotten any of them, thankfully. But I've gotten like 5 rats or something out of that area. So just now starting to put some down by the ducks again, and hopefully there's no ducks or chickens get trapped in them, but I'm trying to catch those and just greatly reduce, and if we can, eliminate. I think that might be a mission impossible of eliminating them completely, but we're going to greatly reduce them as best we can. We're really just going at it full steam ahead. So hopefully we'll get them all, but I'll let you know how it goes. See you next time.